Vision Zero Toronto are automated cameras actually reducing accidents? Toronto's Vision Zero program aims to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injuries by the year 2050. Automated enforcement tools like speed cameras, red light cameras, and AI monitoring are key components of the strategy. But the question remains, are these cameras truly working, or are they just a tool for issuing fines? Let's dive deep into the data, the street-level impact, and the bigger picture of traffic safety in Toronto. What is Vision Zero? Originating in Sweden, Vision Zero has spread globally as a road safety philosophy that prioritizes human life over traffic flow. Toronto's adoption of Vision Zero began in 2017, combining enforcement, engineering, and education to reduce collisions. The core principle is simple: no loss of life is acceptable, and road design as well as policy decisions should always focus on preventing fatalities. So why does this all matter? Vision Zero shifts the conversation away from blaming drivers, and instead focuses on designing safer streets and using technology that, enforces safe driving automatically. But how do these automated cameras actually work? In Toronto, speed cameras and red light cameras are placed at high-risk locations, like school zones and busy intersections. They automatically detect when a vehicle is speeding or running a red light, snap a photo of the license plate, and then a ticket is mailed to the registered owner. This system removes the need for police to be present and ensures that enforcement is consistent and unbiased, helping to make Toronto's streets safer for everyone. Red light cameras work to prevent collisions at dangerous intersections, especially those really serious T-bone crashes. Red light cameras and AI traffic monitoring are working together to make Toronto's streets safer. While red light cameras automatically catch drivers who run signals, AI systems predict accident-prone areas, helping city planners target resources where they're needed most. This unified approach aims to reduce collisions and protect everyone on the road. School zones like Parkside Drive and Bayview Avenue have seen measurable reductions in speeding. Parents report calmer streets and safer crossings for children. So, intersection safety has really improved. Red light cameras at King Street West and Yonge Street have contributed to fewer T-bone crashes, according to city traffic reports. And public awareness is a big part of this too. The presence of cameras encourages drivers to obey limits beyond just ticket issuance, which helps promote long-term behavioral change. The key takeaway here is that automated enforcement works best as part of a holistic approach, not as a standalone solution. Where challenges remain, we must focus our attention. One issue is accident displacement. Some studies indicate that drivers slow down near cameras but speed up elsewhere. This creates what are known as risk migration zones. Equity concerns also come into play. Repeated fines can disproportionately affect lower-income drivers, raising significant fairness issues that need to be addressed. Quick update. If you want to hear my full thoughts on today's topic, I break it all down on my podcast, where I share my personal views, extra details, and stories I can't always fit in here. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out anytime. Now back to the presentation. And then, there are data gaps. While localized results are promising, the citywide reductions in fatalities and injuries remain modest. We need more time and comprehensive data to truly measure the full effectiveness of these initiatives. Some residents remain skeptical, believing cameras are more about revenue than safety. Vision Zero emphasizes cameras in combination with other strategies. Things like narrower lanes, curb extensions, pedestrian islands, and protected bike lanes all help to slow traffic naturally. Education campaigns, which teach drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians about safe behavior, really do help reduce risky maneuvers. So, enforcement rotation means moving cameras to different zones. This approach helps prevent drivers from, gaming the system and really encourages consistent safe driving across the board. Observation shows that cities with similar programs have found cameras alone just can't achieve Vision Zero goals. Infrastructure changes and public engagement are equally important, honestly. Street-level insights give us some real-world examples of Vision Zero in action. For example, on Finch Avenue West, speed cameras do reduce speeding near schools. But sometimes, this just shifts speeding to nearby roads where there aren't any cameras. On Eglinton Avenue East, the combination of red light and speed cameras has actually decreased minor collisions. Still, congestion in the area continues to cause those occasional fender benders. Over on King Street West, red light cameras have helped reduce intersection collisions. However, the downtown density and presence of streetcars really add a layer of complexity to overall safety outcomes. So, here's a tip for drivers. Staying aware of high-risk areas and honestly just complying with posted speed limits is the safest approach, no matter where the cameras are placed. So, measuring success is, pretty crucial. The key metrics we look at include the number of collisions, injuries, fatalities, speed reductions, and also public compliance rates. The findings show that while there are clear localized improvements, citywide traffic deaths unfortunately remain higher than we'd like. The policy implications here are pretty important. Camera placement and traffic safety strategies really need to be continuously evaluated and adapted. So, here's something important to remember. Vision Zero is a long-term commitment, not a quick fix. Automated cameras are just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Looking ahead, future Vision Zero strategies may use AI and predictive analytics to anticipate high-risk areas even before accidents occur. Mobile and temporary cameras, they allow for flexible enforcement in new risk zones without the need for permanent installation. Public engagement is really important. Transparent reporting on accident reduction and how revenue is used helps to build trust and honestly improves compliance. So the main takeaway for drivers is pretty clear. Following speed limits, staying aware in school zones, and being cautious at intersections, these are still the most effective ways to keep yourself and others safe. Next in the series, we'll dive into speed cameras across Canada, how Toronto compares. We'll take a closer look at enforcement revenue and public reaction in cities like Vancouver, Montreal, Edmonton, and, other major cities too. Toronto's Vision Zero program really shows that automated cameras can reduce injuries and accidents. But their success depends on how well they're integrated with street design, public education, and a solid enforcement strategy. Cameras alone just can't eliminate fatalities. For drivers, the message is pretty clear. Obey speed limits, stay alert, and respect pedestrian zones. Automated enforcement may help protect lives, but in the end, safe driving is, ultimately in your hands.